This is Marcus Gronholm's first event in Ford colours, and this could be his first win on the Rally Monte Carlo.
Gronholm took over the lead when Sébastien Loeb crashed out on the first day. Yesterday he built his advantage to an impressive margin of over 2 minutes. On this third and final day, the rally is now his to lose.
If everything goes like today and yesterday, then it's really possible.
Loeb returned on day 2 with a 5-minute penalty under the restart rules. He won all 5 of yesterday's stages. Second position is a real possibility. If he achieves that, he'll be the first person to make the podium under such circumstances.
Yesterday we were leading. I've done a stupid mistake, but now the fight is much more intense in the car, and now we take a lot of pleasure in the stages.
To get there, he'll need to overhaul Manfred Stoll and Tony Gardemeister, the 2 Peugeots who've been fighting over second place. They ended yesterday separated by just 2.9 seconds. And here is the leaderboard going into this final day. Note that Loeb is only 35.7 seconds off second place. Monte Carlo is the oldest rally in the championship, one of the classics which every driver wants on their CV. But this is a unique event. The surface can change from dry tarmac to snow and ice within a few hundred meters, and it's easy to get caught out, as Marcus Gronholm knows. Last year he started the final day in second position, but on the descent from the Col de Turini hit one such patch of snow. His chances of a podium finish were over. Judgment of pace versus all-out speed can often be the key to winning in Monte Carlo, and Gronholm will twice have to pass through the Col, the scene of his downfall last year. In all, 6 stages stand between the Big Fin and a first Monte Carlo victory. Subaru's Chris Atkinson starts the day in 6th. He had found himself up in second at the end of day 1, but he doesn't have the experience needed to deal with the icy roads, sometimes on slick tyres, and he slipped down the standings yesterday. It looks like there is a lot of ice around in these morning stages, so it's going to be another difficult day for the Australian.
Then full ice after this corner. Then 4 left opens along narrow.
Even with the absence of Petter Solberg, who retired at the end of day 1, Subaru still have 2 drivers in the top 8, as Stefan Sarrazin is in 5th. This has been a solid performance by the Frenchman, who will be used by Subaru on tarmac events this year. Sébastien Loeb started out looking to equal Tommy Mäkinen's record of 4 consecutive Monte Carlo wins. He will need Gronholm to have a problem for that to happen now, but second place is within his grasp. That would be victory in itself, considering he ended day 1 stuck in a ravine. There is no doubt that despite effectively changing team in the close season, he still has the setup to be a winner.
Sur gauche au 120 rail neige, entrée, ouvre et ferme 110 millions neige. Ferme 110 millions neige. 150 mètres, attention.
This is Manfred Stoll. He starts over 30 seconds in front of Loeb, but with him, that is a slim margin. The OMV Peugeot driver will want to ignore the attentions of Loeb and just concentrate on the battle with Tony Gardemeister. Tony Gardemeister at the start of the stage now. He surprised everybody with his second place here last year when he was with the Ford team. It will be a great performance if he can repeat that this year in his first outing in the Peugeot 307, entered by the Astro Racing team. Back with Stoll now.
Rechts 4 minus kurz, plus links 4, wird eng.
Loeb has set a time of 12.16 seconds, the fastest so far. How will the Peugeot driver compare?
60 bis, in links pro minus. 50, 10, rechts 3, 60, links 4 minus.
17 seconds slower. That's more than half the gap between them in just one stage. Stoll knows there is little he can do.
This morning, split times aren't good between you and Sebastian.
Yeah, I mean, Sebastian is very, very fast. I don't think I can hold him, but I will try the best and hope he makes a mistake when he drives that speed.
It looks like Stoll's best chance of remaining on the podium is to get ahead of Tony Gardemeister. And we're with a Finnish driver at the end of the stage now. There's a clock at the bottom right of your screen. It looks close. Just a tenth quicker.
Stage is clear for Tony.
Rally leader Marcus Gronholm at the start now. He and co-driver Timo Rautiainen don't need to take any risks, but still need to maintain a rhythm.
Ja vasen eri jäätä 120. Ja jääjarrutus, vasen pitkä hidas, kapeet jääurat. Toista jääjarrutus ja vasen pitkä hidas, kapeet jääurat.
Final days, even with a 2-minute lead, don't come any harder than in Monte Carlo. But the Ford driver completes the first test without incident and even increases his lead.
How tricky is it in there? Because it's just so treacherous.
Yeah, it is so icy the downhill and terrible. Without studs it's crazy.
More good news for the Ford team, with Mikko Hirvonen moving into the points on this stage. He's up to 7th. One of the drivers he overhauls is Gilles Panizzi. He had been as high as 2nd on day 1, but has never been happy with the handling of the Skoda, and more problems for him here. Gronholm's lead
lead now of nearly 2 minutes and 20 seconds, but just under 16 seconds covers Gardemeister, Stoll and Loeb. Gronholm keep it together over the col, and will Loeb continue his charge towards second place? Find out after the break. Back on stage 14, can Manfred Stoll stay ahead of Loeb, who's already set a time of 11 minutes 25.2 seconds. Stoll needs to be no slower than 11 minutes 41 seconds to stay ahead. There's not much in it, but he holds him off for one more stage, but the gap now down to 3.8. And this is Loeb on stage 15. Surely third place will be his soon.
Sur gauche 90 pas corde. Gauche 90 pas corde et gauche à fond. 100 mètres.
And on this stage, Stoll bows to the inevitable. He's a massive 30 seconds slower than Loeb. The Austrian driver is now fourth.
30, rechts 3 minus, 4-3.
Next target for Loeb, Tony Gardemeister. But it looks like he's not going to give up his second place without a fight.
Huomio oikein eri miinus lyhyt. Jarru tosi liukas 5. Vasen open.
His response was to win stage 14. He's second best to Loeb on stage 15, but will take a lead of 14.5 seconds into the afternoon stages. Gardemeister has been eating into Gronholm's lead, but the times are academic for the Ford man now. He just has to get to the finish.
Oikein hidas takavino, kun sä mietit sitä, että kuinka paljon jäädään. 3 ja oikein pitkä hidas. 2.
So as they return to service, Gronholm's lead is still over 1 minute and 45 seconds. Confirmation that Loeb is now third, while further down Mikko Hirvonen and Daniel Sordo are fighting it out over 7th place. Despite being surrounded by the luxury of the leisured classes, there's no leisure time for the teams in service as they make the final tyre choice of the rally. With such a big lead and only 3 stages to go, you'd think Marcus Gronholm and Ford would be pretty relaxed, but you'd be wrong.
Oikein, niitä on paljon mun mielestä, pitäisi olla se. Joo.
You seem a bit nervous. What's the problem? Tyre choice?
It's difficult. We can mix up everything if we take wrong tires now because it's so tricky, the conditions. It's icy and icy, but then many parts are melting and it's wet and it's really tricky which tire is faster.
It's a difficult decision. Slicks will win you time in some places, winter tyres in others. In the end, the strategy is to copy Loeb's choice, a winter tyre with studs.
Tony's driven very well, but I think it's very obvious. You just need to look at the times that Sebastian has done this morning, and for sure he's. We all know what his record is here, and I'm sure that if he could have got the option to take a different tyre, then I think he would have obviously sensed and tried on for victory. But fortunately, we're in the position where we could see what he's doing because of his running order on the road.
It was really interesting at the moment. We take a lot of pleasure in the stages, pushing hard since 2 or 3 days. So now I hope we can fight for the second place, but no, it's really nice.
So 3 stages left for Sebastian Loeb to overhaul Gardemeister, but the Citroën driver will want to wrap up that matter as soon as possible. Gardemeister refuses to give way. He's slower than Loeb on both stages 16 and 17, but does enough to stay ahead. This one is going down to the final stage, where the Peugeot man will be defending a lead of just 6.2 seconds. Home is 3rd on stage 16 and only 7th on stage 17. But most importantly, another 27 kilometres of stage completed and just 31 remaining.
Ja oikein nopea kivi sisällä märkä.
Elsewhere, Mikko Hirvonen looks to have seen off the challenge of Daniel Sordo. A sound start to the season for the new Ford-team member. It will be worth watching what he can do in the next round in Sweden. Sordo is still in position to pick up a point here. Useful experience for the man who will be concentrating on retaining his JWRC title this year. So this is how the leaderboard looks with 1 stage remaining. And here's a roundup of how some of the key players outside the top 8 have been faring. Xavier Pons looks to have missed out on a point in the Driver Championship, but due to a number of privateers ahead of him, could pick up 3 for the Kronos Citroën team in the manufacturer's standings. While Gilles Panizzi, providing he can guide his Skoda to the finish, should collect 2 manufacturer points. Skoda could also pick up the final manufacturer point. Andreas Eigner in charge of bringing that car home. Matthew Wilson of the Stobart Ford team is on course for a top 16 finish. Nearly job done for him. Break, we will be back at the sharp end of competition. Will Gronholm get home safely? And who will take second? Gardemeister or Loeb? See you in a few minutes. Just 1 stage left now in the Rally Monte Carlo, and that's the 3rd run from La Baleine to Sospel, which means another crossing of the Col de Turini. It's been a big learning curve for Chris Atkinson this weekend in his first attempt at Monte Carlo, but it looks like he's going to make it, and that will give him confidence for the next round in Sweden. Atkinson was not nominated to score manufacturers' points, and with Petter Solberg retiring, their only score in this championship will come from Stefan Sarazan, who is on his way to 5th. Manfred Stoll never looked like he could hold off Sebastian Loeb today, but 4th is his best Monte Carlo result and a great start to the season for the OMV Peugeot man.
Macht zu, plus linker Eingang lang über Brücke, in links 3-8 und
sur vraiment 100 mètres.
So we are now with Sebastian Loeb as he approaches the Turini. His mission to chase down Tony Gardemeister.
Droite 130 plus Milo. Sur gauche 120 bon. Sur droite gauche 110 plus. Sur droite gauche à fond. Sur droite 130 plus frein et droite 60 mètres, droite 60 plus.
And it doesn't look good for Gardemeister. He has been well down on all the splits.
Kirraa heti, oikein nopea kirraa.
Loeb now approaching the end of the stage and the end of the rally.
Ferme 130 Montard, 70 mètres après panneau. Sur gauche à fond.
His time, 23 minutes, 21.5 seconds.
Do you think you've got second?
With Tony, I have no information. I was 6 behind before the stage. I pushed hard, but since this morning he's driving very fast, so I don't know. The difference shouldn't be big with Tony, I think.
And Gardemeister now approaching the end of his rally.
Eri miinus lyhyt suppuun. Vasen täys 6. Oikein täys miinus lyhyt usko roiku 7. Pitkä oikein roiku usko jarru 8. Pitkä oikein eri plus
And he's slower already.
Maali 250.
No, he's not going to be within the 6.2 seconds he needs to be. He'll have to settle for third.
End of the last stage, and you've gone from second to third. He's just got you.
Yeah, Loeb was extremely quick here with these kind of studded tires. I cannot understand how he could be so quick, because for me this felt very good. He was pushing like hell, I think.
And here are the men who should be top of the podium. Marcus Gronholm and Timo Raitiainen on their debut for Ford. They've had a minor worry with one of their tyres after clipping a roadside obstacle. But they are home safely. A first Monte Carlo win for Gronholm and a first win for the Focus 06.
I was not pushing at all, but I had also vibration in the car and some smoke inside when we went up to the col, and we were really afraid with Timo. We took the boost off a little bit and it was not nice.
But what is nice is the final winning margin for Gronholm, just over a minute. And Loeb is the first driver to claim a place on the podium under the restart rules, following his day 1 crash.
Marcus, congratulations, a new team, a new car and a very first victory here in Monte Carlo. You must be very pleased.
Yeah, that's very nice. I mean, to win first time with a team and a car, so it's the best, I mean, for this weekend. Maybe my performance, I'm not so happy with it, but after Loeb went off, I just had a good lead and I just tried to take the car to the finish and no big fight.
So Gronholm tops the first driver standings of the 2006 season. Loeb second, but no Petter Solberg following his day 1 retirement. New manufacturers' names on the table in that championship, but it's the established name of Ford who are top. Mikko Hirvinen's 4 points added to Gronholm's 10 sees to that. Some ice in Monte Carlo this year, but it should be snow all the way in round 2, the Swedish rally, which Petter Solberg won last year. Prince Albert of Monaco is on hand to oversee the presentation. Celebration for Ford boss Malcolm Wilson, champagne for Marcus Gronholm and Timo Raitiainen. We We'll see you for round 2 in Sweden. But in the meantime, to keep up to date with all the latest rally news, go to the official website at WRC.com. But from Monte Carlo, it's goodbye.
Voilà.